Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about the very real costs of the 2022 war in Europe to Americans. And one of the things that's top on the list is the news tsunami that the 2022 war in Europe has become. It is just astounding how quickly, how powerfully this thing has just washed away virtually everything else in the news. And that's a real cost, so I want to talk about it. All right, so the top zig world, thefts of Putin, Zelensky's important gifts. This is another thing that Vladimir Putin has stolen from you and has stolen from me, all right, every American. And that is functioning news, right? The 2022 war in Europe has become an absolute shocking news tsunami. It's just been a tsunami of news about Vladimir Putin daily shelling and taking lives in Ukraine and tank battles, and we are looking at this, and this is truly unlike any war coverage we've ever seen. And the reason why is it's not coming from some news reporter going blah 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 and then some grainy footage behind him. This is people who, this is Ukrainian people. Every single one of them's got a phone in their pocket. They're pulling out cameras that are 100 times better than what we're used to, send back pictures from the Vietnam War. You know what I mean? And just and that's the issue, is there's just cameras everywhere, and it's a big deal. Why is it such a big deal that the mobile phone camera is such a big deal? Is one of the biggest things is I think Americans trust the coverage coming back, because what's happening is legacy media is carrying new media content, which is hey, I live 2 houses away, and here's my mobile phone data. And why would it matter if mobile phone data? Why would it matter if, why does mobile phone data matter so much? Well, it's a big deal, and the reason why is every single war we've ever dealt with, right? You're like, hey, some of this came through some news editor's hands. This thing's been we've been changing pictures, news reporter, cameramen and camerawomen have been changing the shot and giving a specific narrative for 100 years, right? Since then, but this is different because I think American people trust the mobile camera more because of the frequency. There's so many photos, videos coming out that there literally isn't time to do the edits. Every other war has come through this filter of bias from American news sources, and this is the first one where Donald Trump thoroughly defeated the news media. He crushed them. He made them irrelevant, right? Literally, he replaced the entire U.S. media junket that every other president had to deal with Twitter. It's amazing. Trump is a very interesting guy. I never voted for that guy, and I will never vote for that guy. But to pretend he didn't change politics for a century is ludicrous. He is incredibly powerful and dangerous, right? There's just no two ways about it. He's a potent leader. We're gonna be reckoning with Donald Trump being our president for a century. He changed everything, right? And I think that's why Americans really are far more engaged with this war than they have ever been with any war before. And the reason why is they trust the pictures and the videos they're seeing, because there literally isn't time to edit them, right? And if you did edit them, right, you're going to be on Snopes in 3 days anyway, right? The fact checking is real, right? And it's in IRL, and that's the issue. Is we're paying attention to this war because we could see this war like no other time before. And I do think this was a major mistake on the part of Vladimir Putin, and that is, it's hard to do evil up close, right? And he has to deal with that, right? Because there's a camera in every hand. Virtually every victim he chooses, we get 1,000 pictures from it and 100 videos, right? So his villainy is being written in stone, right? Vladimir Putin's villainy is written in stone for Americans, right? So, and so now that's why the images coming back are just washing away everything. everything in the news, right? There are major stories coming out that absolutely nobody at the macro level is paying attention to, right? Major cultural issues that we had big discussions going on in America, and every single one of those discussions is absolutely interrupted, right? And here's a perfect example. There's 20 of these. I'm just going to give you one. The same people who eat hummus and drive a Subaru are going to be like, oh, remember climate change? And you're like, are you trying to get me to change the world so that people 30 years from now have a better life? We're trying to figure out how to make it so that people 3 months from now have a better life. You're talking about a world-ending catastrophe 3 decades from now? I don't give a rat's, because we're looking at a world-ending catastrophe possibly next week. Or maybe tomorrow. And we're literally a dozen major cultural conversations that America was having are completely changed, completely forgotten, completely irrelevant, right? And the reason why is all of America's we don't live it, I said this weeks ago, and now America's understanding it, right? America is understanding it. America is understanding it. We don't live at Maslow's pinnacle anymore. We live in Maslow's valley. We used to worry about art. Now we're worrying about the price of bread. Thanks, President Biden. Right? It's a problem. We are in a very serious problem. And right now, you have to remember this. I am trying to drill this into the ground with a metal plate inscribed, right? The villainy of Vladimir Putin is unprecedented, right? And it's proven, and it's real, and there's no complexity, no nuance. Global villain, Vladimir Putin. Global hero, Volodymyr Zelensky. It's that simple. We pick sides and we help good fight evil. It's that simple. That's where we're at. That's the world we have landed in. That's my and this is a big freaking deal. The fact that Vladimir Putin has stolen from you and from me major cultural conversations that still should be happening, that are completely forgotten, completely changed, completely off the board, and real news stories that we should care about that we don't even know about by the hundreds are all stolen by Vladimir Putin. And we have to inscribe on stone what he did, because the revisionism is coming at a level you will not believe. The revisionism is coming. Be ready. That's my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.